So. If 2 points, right, if a point on the line satisfies the equation, I mean, it's right on there, right? In order for it to be a solution. It has to be on the line. Okay, so this is the first thing it's saying, it will satisfy it. But only if it's on there. So these are the steps, so if they give you the equation, or if they give you the graph, depending on what's going on, this is the procedure. We plot 2 points, that should be good enough to draw your line, right? Last time we were drawing points, no big deal. X and Y, X is first, X is horizontal, Y was vertical. You guys had no problems plotting points, correct? It's not an issue. If it is, let me know. We'll talk about it again. They do recommend to do a third point just to be safe, but not gonna make you do that. Just make sure you get the first 2 correct. Okay. You guys cool in the first 4? Great, good. Right. Right. Let's just go through this and then we'll solve the examples, the next few examples. Let's just talk it through. Share.
That's crazy.
All right, David. All right, so the instructions are graph this equation. It's 2-dimensional, it has an X and a Y, so it should be a 2D picture. Obviously, the line. Now you choose whatever points you want. I'm not gonna tell you which X's to choose
This is context only.
or which Y's to choose. So you pick whatever you want. I recommend choosing numbers that are easy.
There you go.
Unless they force you to pick something, then you gotta do it, but pick 0, 1, stuff like that.
There is.
If you see a
Jarvis?
fraction in there,
Don't go on mute.
do something that cancels the fraction. Okay. You see the algebra they did in the first line here.
Yeah.
And you see why you plug in 0, this part is gone, correct? Then you gotta divide both sides by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So they didn't show any of that work here. We're gonna show it for the next example. Right here, this is what they're doing. They're plugging in a number. They're choosing the X and then they're solving for the Y. And they find it to be 2. Now you have a coordinate. You plot the point. So they found it 0, 2 like that. And they plug in a different X, they plug in -3. They solve for Y. You get a 4. That's all they're doing. You choose whatever X you want unless they tell you. Okay. We'll show the details in the next one. But you see the procedure, right? You can also choose the Y if you want and then solve for the X if you want to, but usually you choose the X first. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's solve. Talk about intercept. So they ask you to find the Y-intercept. That means you're right on the Y-axis. If you're on top of an axis, the Y, that means there is no X.
I don't think so.
So basically, if you X is 0, then you're gonna be on top of the Y. If the Y is 0, you're gonna be on the X. Okay. That's how you find the intercepts. So if you ask for the intercepts, meaning when the graph hits the axis, Y-intercept is right there, X-intercept is here. If you want to find one or the other, you gotta choose x to be 0 to find the y-intercept and then solve. The x-intercept, let y be 0 and then solve. That's the procedure.
Wait, sir, can you go up?
Is it clear on how to find intercepts? Or what it means to intercept an axis? Okay. Horizontal and vertical lines are gonna be, for horizontal, it's gonna be y equal to a number. If you see y equals something. And it's not a point, it's not a number, it's just an equation, y equals to 5. Then you'll have a horizontal line after. If it's x equal to a number, then it's gonna be a vertical line at that specific number. It doesn't matter what you choose for x and y, it's just gonna be up and down. And x will always be that same thing.
Yeah.
I'll wait a bit. No ideas? And I choose 2. It was a good one. Let's do that next. Then x equal 2. That'll be 2 plus y equal to. All you gotta do is solve for y. Well, how would you solve for y? And that was test 2. Correct. What is y equal to? So y is 1 when x is 2, that means it's a location 2, 1. Okay, so someone said let x be 0. So plug it in. There's no more x, so you're only left with 3. So I have 2 points.
We'll put a plus term. I got one that's gonna make it.
What's another simple x? You said what?
We'll put a plus term on.
Yeah.
Ooh, you.
It won't sound right. So x is 1. Where's y gonna be? Y will be 2. Which one's the x-intercept? Do we have one? Did we find it? Do we have the y-intercept? Which one is the y-intercept? We said intercept means you're on that axis, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna be those.
So 0, 3, where is it?
0, 3. Well, yeah, 0, 3 would be on the.
X-axis. I'm sorry.
Y-axis.
Yeah, so this is y intercept. So if I want the x-intercept, the y has to be 0. Right? So let's let y equals 0. We get x plus 0 equals to 3. So x is also 3. That's more than enough. We're just doing it for practice. Right. Also, I need you to remember to find the x-intercept, let y be 0. Find y-intercept, let x be 0. That's true for any kind of graph, not just lines, all graphs. That doesn't mean they exist, but if you try to find it, this is what you would do. Okay. A couple and you'll be good.
Who's your girlfriend? Who's your girlfriend? Your girlfriend.
So the simple ones would be the zero, I mean, they're all easy points, right? It don't matter. 2,
Why?
1. 1, 2. 0, 3. 3, 0.
You ready to move or?
Yeah,
When should move?
I don't know, Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving. You kiss her goodbye. Come on, bro. She's calling you. This is calling you. That's you.
Any questions on plotting? So all we needed was 2. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Good enough.
You should- Good morning.
Yes, cool on 5.
Some of them each.
Right. Remember we said if it's x equal to a number, it's gonna be a vertical line at that location. So at 1,
You see me on the
straight up and down.
Okay. Sorry.
You're welcome to head out if you want.
No.
You can't focus today. Remember vertical line. It's gonna be x equal to 1 right there. But notice on the, no matter what y you choose, right, it doesn't matter. So it's all the y's in convention. So x is always 1, all the way up, all the way down. So you know where there is no y here, you treat it as if y could be anything. Okay, does that make sense? Well, you can also just think of it as, okay, if it says x equal to a number, I go to that number, draw a vertical line. Over here. Y equal to a number, it's gonna be horizontal at that location, so you just go down to -3. And it's there. If you were to try to make a table like this. No matter what you chose for number 7, y equal to -3. It would always be -3 for all the y's, no matter what x you chose. Does that make sense? It just doesn't change. Because that's what y is. Y is -3. Does it make sense? Do you see y is horizontal and vertical? Or is that not clear? That weird? That's cool on this page. Do the x equal to 1, just I'm saying is, no matter what you choose. For y. It's gonna be 1, 1, 1. -10,000. Still 1. Okay. You can just draw the vertical line and not think about it. It's cool. No big deal. Do you see why this is? All right. Let's move on then. Practice. Try this guy here. Try number 8. You don't have to use their numbers, use whatever you want. You can avoid a fraction. Good idea. Okay. You guys choose for. When X is 1, what'd you guys get?
When you do the. The opposite of adding. What you do, like subtract -4.
Yeah, when you plug it in. Well, let's see.
-4.
Would X be 1? It turns into a 4, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, you would do. Because you gotta. Figure out what's. X, then replace that with the 1.
Yeah, you choose X, any X you want. Choose ones that are easy to work with, like small ones like this is pretty good, or something that'll add up to something smaller, but. Yeah, if once you choose it, it replaces all the X's, correct? So then that's where we get to here. 4 minus 10. Now we have a point, right? Here's another easy one. Easy points. And have any issues graphing them? Okay. Make sense or no? Next one, I hope you don't take 0. Right, back to 0. What is Y gonna be? -10. There we go. That's good enough. For me anyway. If you do the test, 2 points is good enough. Okay. Just be safe. The only issue is -10 is kind of big, so I'm gonna put a lot of tick marks. If I were to choose 2, it'd be easier to graph. Y equal to 4 times 2 minus 10. It's gonna be -2. Right? This is a little better. But it doesn't matter how you do it. So 2 -2. Right there. 1 -6. Right here. See if I can connect the dots or not. Oh. Not pretty, but. I was always very bad at parking class in elementary school. I was really bad at it. So take a small break. In the next 20 minutes, working on these problems. Then we're gonna move on to 10.3.
Yeah. Weird.
Back to it. Do you have any issues with any of these examples or practice problems? The one pretty chill. Pretty simple. Put on, I'll do 3, 4, and. Yeah. I'll grab it. It'll be too bad.
Did you say Ohio?
I mean.
What's that? I was like, bro, I'm like. We're doing 10-3 as well.
Yeah. Here's what I'm thinking. I came up with a plan. All right.
The game plan, tell us right here, coach. Tell me.
So. I don't promise next week, but. For sure one day. For sure that Wednesday. Oh, class next Wednesday. What I'm thinking is I'll let test 3 be a take-home exam. Just make sure you turn in a masterpiece. And you'll be good. You get back, we're gonna hit it hard and we're gonna have test for final. Be working and studying. There'll be no more breaks. I'm gonna try to give you Wednesday. I'll send you a review. Watch it if you want, or you can just take your time, however you want to do it, just spend time practicing and doing it. I recommend you do it yourself, don't use your AI stuff, because it's wouldn't do any favors. And it's like if, for example, I use an app to read to me, because I don't want to learn how to read, it's not really helpful. Right? Same thing, it's a skill you should develop. Right? Don't cheat yourself. Okay, get back to it here. I'm gonna skip the first 2 unless you guys have feel like those were difficult. All right or no? Let's start on 3. We can do Monday, but we'll. Would be a simple computer.
Yeah.
We would. He would still give us a fraction. But we can deal with that. Not a big deal. But a trick that you can use. Is choose a number that'll cancel the fraction. So we know that 2 would cancel this, right? So if I choose 2 right here, we would no longer have a fraction and we just deal with whole numbers. You can avoid, so this is one way you can avoid the fraction is choose numbers like this. Because if you choose something that does not reduce it, then you gotta work with fractions, which you should be able to do. But if you can avoid it, I say go for it. Let me put a note here. Then x equals 2. Y is equal to 3/2 times 2 minus 8. You see why it cancels. One extra step in case you don't. You could have just canceled it here if you wanted to. This is why. Got our point? 2 -5. So any multiple of 2 is going to cancel this fraction. If you use 4, 6, etc. We'd end up with something like this. So any multiple 2 would be good. And what else can we use? We do 4. So let x be 4. You have 3 times 4/2 minus 8. You can reduce these 4 and 2, right? What does reduce into? Yeah, this will cancel one of the 2s. You guys comfortable with those fractions?
This is this.
Said, yeah. That's it in.
Okay. If you use 0, I would have gotten rid of the fraction 2. So that's usually the first choice. But we didn't use it. If you use anything that was not a multiple of 2, or had a factor of 2, then you would have ended up having to do, you would have to add and subtract fractions. There's a way to avoid it. -2 and this is 2 -5 4 2. Any questions on the algebra part or the plotting the points part? Is it okay? Up here is just the X's and Y's we chose. And the points. Okay, cool on this page. All right, move on. You see number 4? What kind of line is that? Can you tell? Yeah, it's gonna be a vertical type, right? If we divide both sides by 2. We go to 6 and put a vertical line. No big deal, right? Any questions on 4? Same thing, well, almost the same for the next one. Long if you go to -1, 4, what kind of line is this? Horizontal at -4, so somewhere down here, I guess. The book has fancier graphing, so you can use that. You guys have any questions about plotting points? Are you comfortable finding intercept? Big deal? You know, these next test, right? No feeling what the next one. All right. We're given 2 points. You should be able to find the flip. Okay. The ratio of rise over run. This formula here, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x. You've done this many times, right? Should be familiar. Like that, the first part.
Hold on.
All right. The positive or negative slope. If you have a positive slope, you'll be increasing from left to right. Basically, you'll have. Kind of shape, right, going this way. If it's negative, it'll be going down. Yeah. Horizontal lines have zero slope. They're also called them constant lines because they're not changing, it's just the same. Vertical lines have. Basically, we say it's undefined because you can't use the formula for the slope. The bottom would be zero. You can also think of it as an infinite slope because it's shooting straight up. Traditionally, we call it undefined. So vertical undefined, horizontal zero. Wait. Oh, slope intercept form. Going to solve for y, you have the slope right there, and your intercept is always going to be 0 to the constant right there is your y-intercept. That's what they always have told you to solve for y first, because you get a lot of information. Okay. Same thing. Who on this page? Alrighty. So first you let's just practice finding the slope. Switch over. Find the slope given 2 points. -2. And 1, -4. And we said the slope is equal to this. What I recommend is label them so you don't mess it up. X1, Y1 as your first point. X2, Y2 for the second. Then just be careful. So M will equal Y2 first, so 4 minus Y1 minus -2. So that this minus is built in. Most of the mistakes are going to be sign error. X2 minus X. What problem do you see? Let's see. That how can we work with 2? What is the problem? Yeah, we can't have 0 down here, so. Slope is undefined. So you can kind of see it right away if you notice that the x's are the same. Then you should just automatically say, well, if I subtract these, right? It's gonna be 0 down here. You can just say right away, yeah, this slope's undefined. Who cares what's on the top? If there's 0 down there, it's an issue. Any questions about number 1? Okay, number 2. It's start the same way and label this. We know the slope formula. Right here. What goes on the top?
New one.
Minus
7.
7. Bottom
Or -3.
4 minus -3. Okay. -1 minus 7. Gonna be negative, right? 4 minus minus plus. Put the negative in front if you want, put it on top or the bottom, it's all the same. Anything. Look at number 4. It's already in slope intercept form, so right away you should be able to look at it and say, you know what? Whatever's on the x is your slope. You see the formula. If it's y equals mx plus b, then whatever m is there is the slope. You don't have to do any work. Just look at the m. Like the m on number 4 gonna be 2. Find the slope and y-intercept. Number 4. Already ready for you. What is m? Yeah, number right there. Y-intercept. Is always 0, comma, this number.
Does a negative one be? Or like?
Yeah, this is the B. You always write the intercept as a point, 0B. Number 5, same question. Guess cool on number 4. Just using the formula. Here we do not have a solve for y, so you can't use it. So solve for y first. And then do the same thing. What would be your first step?
I have a question. This is like a very unrelated off-topic question, but it's about school.
All right, what's up, man? Step. And then 9. Divide by 3. Now line
Horizontal.
horizontal. So what kind of slope? Slope is 0. So if the slope is 0, then this is actually the B. The horizontal line at 3. That's it. Okay. Try out the next figure on your own, 1 through. We 1 through 5. Give you 20 minutes to try it out, then we're gonna do it together. Okay. Make sure you label your slope and y-intercept on each one. Even if they don't ask. Sort of. Right here. Slope, y-intercept, and graph it.
I think I grabbed this one.
What's up?
I think yeah, I did grab this one.
Yeah, what's the slope?
Five,
Whatever's on the X.
I mean, two at two,
So if it's always like one, look at the number, it's it. And me what? Gonna be what? Plot 2 points and the line, and then move on to the next one. Unless you choose a Y and then solve for it, you get another point if you wanted to. If you need a second point, you can choose to solve for the X or choose to solve for the Y. But since it's already solved for Y, they're just picked random X.
That X and be two or two X.
Yeah, let's say you choose one, right? You have 2 times 1 plus 8. So when X is 1, Y would be 10. You have 1 times 10 at the location. So try letting X be 1. And then solve, see what happens. Look at it.
would it be, how, can you, go, real quick?
Yeah, let's do the first one, then I'll wait.
I wanna see if the.
Yep.
And it's the,
The 1 comma 10 is the spot, the first one in the point.
can you, scroll up real quick? All the way up, I wanted to see if this,
Okay. So. Slope, Y-intercept. First point we got is 0.8. That's just from looking at it. If I let X equal to 1. Then I get Y equal to 2 times 1 plus 8, which means Y is 10. So when X is 1, Y is 10. So we have 2 points, bottom, draw your line. That's it. That's all I'm asking is graph the line. You need to find at least 2 points. You can find 3 if you want, it's whatever. Give me the slope, give me the intercept. Okay. The intercept is a point on its own, so it technically gives you the first one.
You want to answer, for 2 points?
Yeah, just plot 2 and back up. That's it.
So can X just be whatever, or is it based off any?
You choose the X. Now, that's how I phrase that. Next will then. Okay, so when X is this, then Y changes. The Y depends on the X. That'll give you the weight and the Y. Yeah, but what I'm asking is get 2 points, graph them, give me the Y-intercept. That's it. Number 2. It's this, I'm giving you the reverse. Here's the slope, here's the intercept. Can you give me the equation? That's backwards.